country, the activists, the civil rights, the struggling parents, the families, the teachers, the students that are realizing that a system built to divide, impoverish, and destroy us cannot stand if we do it. All right? It's kind of basic mathematics.
If you hear me, could you feel me, could you free me? Wonder if I made a difference or made a difference. But that we are the difference. We ain't got no code to decipher. Brother, I would never call you trife. You my brother, though they knife and fork our meals, then cop the silly feels. Yep, it's slimy, kinda grimy, miscalculated the timing. But you can plagiarize something in disguise and think we have no eyes to see something real as we. This is seriously who we be. See, this here is true indeed, the real deal, thoroughbred, like collard greens and cornbread. Can't recite what's never said, purpose keeps us fed. Real man, this is grand A, hope fed. But still, you are my brother, above you there's no other. Blood or something other, more like what the blood covers. Man, no matter what they say, we good over this way. This is positivity in the making, helping brothers to break through. Without breaking, without breaking, without breaking, without breaking.
A vision of seeing a world living in unity through love.
Oh, you know we had to do it, right? Brother empowerment.
It's been a long
Helping brothers to break through without breaking. With international viewership. That means that we are getting our message worldwide and nothing can stop us from showing our brothers and their family love. So you know we had to do it right. Come on now. Brother empowerment, we about to do it. Let's go. We love you guys. Come on,
let's go, let's go. My brother hit my phone, said, bro, let's go, let's go. We gotta build a home, we gotta build a throne, somewhere that we can roam. Let's get these brothers up to start to build each other up. It's time for us to level up in power. Yeah, we stepping up higher from the fire that ignited from the heavens up. Now it can't expire, cause my brother's always checking up. On me, put your blessings up. Homie, never letting up. On me said, call me if you need, and couldn't believe it. I finally found brothers that's healing, now I receive it, cause they invited me to breathe in all of the meaning of the true brotherly love. Just what I needed, man, it's such a vibe to build with brothers through the struggles. Man, it's such a high to have them help you through your troubles, make you feel alive. Cause as they raising your spirits, you start embracing your fearless. You can't deny that you're clearing all the demons from your heart, wishing it from the start. To any brother that wanna step in and be a part, cause it's easier to do it together than be apart. Hope to be the beacons of light that can shine in the dark.
Come on, let's go.
What is a brother?
A brother.
A brother is
A brother.
brother. Forged and sharp.
Who supports you.
Reliable.
Full trust.
They'll protect you.
Hold me accountable.
A friend.
Could hear your pain through your sound. And there to pick you up without judgment.
So brotherhood to me is a journey and not a destination.
Welcome to Brother Empowerment. What's going on, y'all? We took a stroll down memory lane.
Man. Yo. Oh, man.
Well, it's Thursday,
So you know what that means?
It's Brother Empowerment Night. It is our finale.
Yo.
What?
The last two rounds. Oh, no, and I definitely interrupted you there and took your part.
You sure did. You was like, we ain't been back in a month. I'm going to say everybody's lines.
Oh, man.
So it's Thursday.
Yes.
So you know what that means?
It's Brother Empowerment Day.
For the last time.
Yeah,
man. It was good to take that stroll down memory lane.
That was dope, man. That was
yeah,
dope.
I really am excited about all of that. I need to get over something so I can feel like I can get in the couch. Slide the couch over something. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So, guys, this is our first of the last.
Mm-hmm.
And so we decided to kind of play back some of the old intros. I remember when we first started, I was telling Ian, like, it was kind of funny because I was like, we didn't have no intro we used to start.
Nope.
I used to be like, this is J. Dwayne Garnett, the love advocate. And then we'll go from there.
We should be like, hey, y'all, what's up?
So how did it feel like kind of seeing those old intros?
Man, it just, like you said, bro, it took me to where when we started, from everything, the feeling of the episodes when we were setting up to what we were wearing to what we were going to talk about, it just took me all the way back, man. It put me right. It's like I was right there all over again. And then, like Ian was saying, just looking at the growth, we literally have grown. Like we have grown as far as like the things we've experienced and the things we talk about. We've grown physically. We have hair, you know what I mean? We swinging rocks now.
Yeah. What about you, Ian? What you felt like?
I got a co-sign of what CG just said. I mean, just the growth. That was the biggest thing that I noticed, and not only just from a physical standpoint, but from a production standpoint. Yeah. I mean, from not having intros to having the intro, and then we just saw the first two intros before the last one. So, like, man, it's been an amazing journey, man.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was like, I still remember the lyrics and all. I think I remember more importantly where we were at that time. Like when we started Brother Empowerment, it was literally a response at first, kind of to like what Dion challenged us to do. And then it kind of grew from there. Like we wasn't expecting to be around for 4 years. Yeah. And here we are. Yeah. Wow. And so I remember it, and I was laughing because one of the videos we were playing earlier when we were looking back, I remember one time we did Brother Empowerment. We had the phone propped up on an ironing board.
Yeah, you really? Yeah.
And Cordell was looking so disgusted at me. He was like, this old ghetto mess.
Man, he was like, I promise I wasn't even thinking about that. I promise I wasn't.
I'm going to play the video back, and I want y'all to look at his face. He's looking like, ooh, what is this?
I promise I wasn't even thinking like that. What I was really thinking is what I think often. I was like, man, sitting side by side, Jay, I look so small. I don't like this at all.
Well, look, let's go ahead and welcome our guests. It's been so long, I feel so out of touch.
Yeah, I got it. Let's do it. We got Big Sis, aka Tara, in the building. What's going on, Tara?
Hey, Tara.
Hey. We got Sherry in the building. What's going on, Sherry?
I miss Sherry so much. And Tara, I ain't seen him in like forever.
I know, for real, man. We got Jessica Brown in the building. What's going on, Jessica?
And she rocking that A Kind Human Is My Kind of Human tee.
Yes.
Okay. She said she's not okay with this. Oh, wait. She's like, no, wait a minute. Not the whole music video.
Oh, yeah. It was definitely like that, for real. We had a whole production. Hey, Sabrina, what's going on? What's up, Roderick, man?
What's going on? Yeah. I feel like this is not okay because I literally just found out.
That's not our fault, Jessica. Wow. We've been around this thing for 4 years, going on 5.
And you knew we was here. You just didn't know it. Okay.
4 years. I like that. I like that, Sarah. I like that. Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah. I will say this now. The cool thing is we can kind of do some things like this will free up your Thursday. It'll free up my Thursday. You know what I mean? Oh, what's going on?
What's up, Tony, bro? What's happening, man?
Good to see you. I think it's just a great time to kind of start something fresh. Start something new.
Yeah.
Something exciting. Live life. Have fun. So I think since it's our last show, why don't we go back to some of our old conversations and see how we feel?
When we used to canvas the crowd for topics.
Oh
man.
And then the people didn't even view who had that.
I wasn't gonna say because I didn't want to be petty, bro. But you know what? The truth is petty, and that's definitely true. People would suggest stuff and be like, "Yeah, this is my time. I really want y'all to talk about it." And then the whole show, they're not even
there. Not even there.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, so ready?
Brother Empowerment. What does toxic masculinity look like?
Ooh, what does it look like, broski?
I think for me, people automatically jump to just against feminism. For the most part, at least that's what I think about. But I don't think that.
Yeah, I mean, even though we retired the whole even though we stopped using the phrase toxic masculinity here on the show, and for the most part, just in general, when I think of toxic masculinity, I think of damaging behavior. I think of conditioned behavior, and I think of anything that is against perceived vulnerability in boys and men. That's what I think of. I think of toxic masculinity. I think of just anything that's against the human side of men, the humane side, if you will. That's what I think of. I think it's toxic masculinity.
Yeah, and I actually remember where I was at that place, and I agree. I think back then, when I thought about toxic masculinity, I thought about the stereotypical things like gender inequality, rape culture, domestic violence. I thought about all of those things, misogyny. I thought about all of those things, and I was thinking from a male's lens only. And now when I think about toxic masculinity, I even realize that is something that is not gender specific. Meaning it's not just men who can exhibit toxic masculinity. There are women who can also exhibit toxic masculinity. And also there could be a culture that further pushes the narrative of toxic masculinity that I didn't realize back then.
Yeah.
So like you can walk into an atmosphere, like we use the example, if a wife chose to be the breadwinner and allow her husband to stay at home, society would have a problem with that.
He's weak.
Right. Yeah. So it's like those type of things that are cultural and, and construct in nature that a lot of times it's not just one person. It's a whole culture and it's a whole environment that kind of, breeds those type of things. And I wasn't thinking in that way, especially back then.
I agree with that, bro.
Let me get this thing moving. I think we got a comment.
He said John Cena's toxic masculinity. What's up, Chad, man?
Hey, Chad, how you doing, brother?
Man, wait, which John Cena? Because he had a few different iterations, so he had to tell us which one.
He was like them all. Okay, that was a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's a nice one to start it off with.
Okay, here we go.
Manipulating people into betraying you as an excuse to push them away.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh, man. Talk about some Lex Luthor, Brainiac type stuff here.
Yeah, that's a big
when I think of that whole just questioning, I wanted the manipulating piece stands out to me just because people, and if even taking away the whole betrayal and excuse part, people manipulate people for different purposes and different ends often, unfortunately. So there's that part. And then manipulating people into betraying you, it's really getting the self-fulfilling cycle of I can't trust anybody, or I don't want to get close to people, because oftentimes, when people are manipulating people, they're doing that to serve an end, and it's not even something that they're gaining out of it. It could be something that they're just used to, so they just perpetuate that behavior. So when I see this question and I think about that, I think of people just being stuck in their own self-defeating, self-perpetuating hamster wheel. That's what I think of.
Yeah, I think about just the excuse not to be vulnerable with that person or whoever you are pushing away. Because I know I've done that. Yeah, I've definitely done that. Trying to be like the strong one in my inner circle of friends or whatnot, and not even just giving them the opportunity. And it took years to realize that too, as well. So it's not nothing. I don't think we do it on purpose. I think it's just kind of innate in us because you're so used to just doing it. It's almost like a defense mechanism, almost.
Yeah, I feel like now that I have more relationship experience too. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is more of a dynamic, in my opinion, of people who expect something bad out of people and have found the pleasure of being a victim.
Yeah.
Because they like the attention of a victim. And so they kind of set people up to do things to betray them unknowingly, unsuspectingly. Mm-hmm. And they kind of like, this is, to me, is like a precursor to gaslighting. And they manipulate a person into doing the very things they don't like as an excuse to let them go, to kind of push that narrative. See, all such and such are the same. This always happens to me. Usage is always going to be different, but they like the attention that they receive from being hurt. And I know quite a few people who are like that, and I know some people who are like I know several people who are in relationships like that, where they just can't seem to do anything right. And the person actually receives some type of gratification out of pushing people away, saying that they've been betrayed, and finding that really the attention of trying to make things right is pleasurable for them. You know?
Yeah.
Let me see. Chad said he's starting to look like Bert now. Hey, what's going on, Mike? It's been a minute. Up, Mike, how you doing? And then he said, Jessica said, it's actually crazy how common it is for people to be inadvertently manipulative if they lack self-awareness.
Say that again.
Or if they're just selfish.
Yeah.
Because somebody can be fully aware and very intentional about manipulation. And that's the part, I think sometimes we give certain evils a pass.
Yeah.
Because we're like, it ain't, but there are some people who are intentionally manipulative and love the opportunities that manipulation affords them. And they're fully aware of what they're doing. And they thrive off of the insecurities and the ignorances of others to do it.
Yep, I definitely agree with that too. Unfortunately.
One of those sad but true moments.
Funny you said true. Petty.
Inside joke.
Brothers with daddy issues. Ooh.
They're definitely out here. And I believe this one was a strong one when we talked about it. And I think one of the things that I mentioned when we did talk about was that, so many brothers, they don't talk about, they don't say, it's rare that you'll say that a brother has daddy issues. It's not even something that's really, it's way more common to say that a woman has mommy issues or a guy has mommy issues versus saying that they have, it's way more common to say a woman has daddy issues to say that a man has dad or daddy issues. Right. And I think that that's really, for quite a few of us, unfortunately, that is the void or the issue that they have with just life or with other brothers or with personal relationships, period, is that they are missing that, they're missing their dad or that dad figure, and they just won't admit it.
Exactly.
And their relationships with women, whether they be platonic or romantic, are damaged because their mom, may have been, single parent or been there, but she's the one who stayed. And and I don't say a lot of times, but sometimes even though she's the one who stayed, that doesn't mean she wasn't damaging. She's just the one who stayed. And I believe Jay brought that up a couple times. But I think that there's quite a few of us who have daddy issues, but they won't admit it. And it's not something that's readily talked about either.
Yeah.
He's right.
While you thinking, Ian, I'm gonna get these questions.
Well, I don't even need to think about it. I can
let me get them real quick, and then you can then your story can come in. Tune it in. Say it ain't so. It's so, brother.
Mike, man.
Hey, is this on YouTube? Yes, it's on YouTube. Look at Love is a Parable.
Yep, we're live on YouTube as well. What's up, Deshaun, man?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up?
Okay, then.
Shanquilla from
Shaquilla.
Yep. Let me know if I pronounced that wrong. From LinkedIn.
Shanquilla. Yep.
Okay.
We met in Holly Springs. Okay. Dope sister doing some great things. She got a nonprofit too. I'm gonna connect y'all too because she's doing a lot of good stuff in the community. Okay. But yep, tuning in from LinkedIn. Oof, the topic reminds me of when I got married on accident. No comment. My lady wants to follow, but she's not on Facebook. And I grew up in foster and group home system myself, FYI. Okay. But yes, we're on YouTube. We're on LinkedIn and Twitter. So yep, if she's on YouTube, she can find it. Yep. Okay, tell your story.
All right, so long story short, I'm part of a Christian men's group that's basically taking a journey through manhood, but using just basically Christian principles, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably there's only two of us, just men of color that's part of this group. Majority of the group is white men. And we got a couple other races in there. But I say all that to say, one of the common themes that I did find in all of us, and it's probably about 20 males in it, is everybody has daddy issues.
Mm-hmm.
Like, regardless of whether the dad was in the home or not in the home, like, there was still some type of pain that was linked to daddy from everybody. And that was just shocking to hear because, 9 times out of 10, we usually hear about, the pain from people who didn't have daddy in the home. But what about the pain when daddy was even there?
Yeah.
And you saw him on a day in and day out basis. So we don't even talk about that aspect of it.
And I can relate to that too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But it was just shocking for me just to see, just a whole different men with different backgrounds, but everybody still had that one commonality that they could link some sort of pain back to daddy.
Yeah.
I actually have so much I want to say about that. What's going on, Triumphant?
What's happening, bro?
I'm glad you in.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brother Jay. You're an awesome sister, and you'll love Ian. He's amazing. My son listen. He's 22 years old. He agreed. Okay. I will say this too, and now that I'm going into this next life of like being transitioning towards separation. Transitioning towards divorce, is that daddy issues I think are so prevalent because let me clarify this too. I don't think stereotypes just come out of thin air.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there is some truth to stereotypes,
right?
But it becomes a generalization that blankets everyone, which then makes that stereotype untrue because it doesn't fit all.
Right.
I think it is some common experiences that create stereotypes, but those common experiences does not govern how everyone lives their lives.
Correct. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
And so I believe that daddy issues are also the result of the expectation of daddies to fail.
That's another layer.
It's expected for a mother
to excel.
Mm-hmm. So if a mother has an off day, it is perceived as if she got a lot on her plate. There are excuses that are readily available, and that's not the same way for a man. It's the total opposite. It's a man can't do this, blah 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 blah. They make the excuses why a man can't and why they expect him to fail. So when you are people who live outside of those stereotypes, now you're faced with a new challenge of the audacity of how do you have the audacity not to be a stereotype? So when people don't know how to place you, that's just as offensive as being the stereotypical whatever. And I think that some people experience daddy issues because I think that there is a larger unrecognized influx of daddy abuse from a societal perspective.
There is, yeah.
He get beat up out in the community. He get beat up at home. Yeah. So when he lashes out to the ones he's close to, even though that is no excuse to abuse or mistreat, when you don't have a place of peace, what happens to anything that is suppressed too long over time? Combustion. Yeah. So, and I think that sometimes those things are happening And we don't realize how much we make excuses for men to fail, for men to be abusive, that perpetuates the continuous cycle of abuse that leads to a trail of daddy issues. That's how daddies can be present but absent.
You're right. Yeah, bro. That's all the way, man.
So it's just a lot of stuff that go on in that. And I also think what also makes it worse is that one way or another, we are positioning brothers to be the accuser, the accused, but also to be the perpetuate of violence, because brothers are not expected to have daddy issues. Brothers are not expected to long for their daddies. Brothers are not expected to need that embrace from their daddy, that kiss from their daddy, that hug from their daddy, that encouragement from their daddy. And it's like I think you talked about, like, I got an adoptive father, and I probably would have been messed up in my head if I didn't have that, though. He's not one to be on the phone and talking to me, but if I need him, he's here. And he will hug me. He will tell me he loved me to this day. And what I love about that is he didn't, like, when you have a kid, it's like you're kind of obligated to take care of them. But it's rare for men to take a child that's not their own and take them in as their own. We're not talking about a step kid or anything like that. And my dad did that. And if I need a hug, I need a hug. Like, he drove up here one day to just say, I'm proud of you.
That's deep.
4 hours and 15 minutes just to say, I'm proud of you. And we got to normalize that men long for affection, long for belonging, long for connection, most importantly from their parents.
Oh, absolutely.
And not just mommy, from daddy too. You know?
Absolutely. Nah, for real.
Whew. That goes to my purr. Hard truth, negative expectations and unrealistic expectations are a big burden for men. So I've heard. She said, right. Amazing. So that's deep. Thank you. Anything else about the daddy issues?
Nah, man. When you talked about the present but absent, and the other thing, when you talked about the adoptive father and men taking care of children that are not their own, like my dad, the man who raised me, is not my biological father. He's not my the sister that I grew up with. He's not her biological father either, but he raised us. But he had a very colorful upbringing, and he got beat up out in the world, and in other times during his time in the when he was younger and all that stuff in the military and stuff like that. So he brought that home with him, and unfortunately, it had an effect on both my sister and I. And then our relationship isn't good now. But my father, the one of the people who's responsible for me being on this earth, he wasn't there for the first 32 years of my life. And so I met him a couple years ago. But now our relationship is starting to do what it's going to do. So like there's various experiences that come along with that, and it's very conflicting. Because while I did go through some abuse with my dad, he did teach me a lot. And while my father was absent for for pretty much all of my young life,
decades?
You know what I'm saying? So while he was absent, and now it's like we're building something, and it's just like, man, so there's all these things that go along with that. And luckily, I have brothers like y'all, and then I of course my therapist. But I couldn't, I'm not the only brother going through that. And some brothers don't have the outlets. They don't have the supportive circle. They don't have any of that. So they have to manage it on their own. You know what I mean? And so, when you say that's something that men are, and they have to go through life at the same time. They got to manage that, go through life and do all of that. And so, and some of them don't feel like they have the room to say, damn, I got daddy issues, or I got issues with the male figures in my life.
I don't think that they even got that far to even say, oh, it's a daddy issue. I think that we have created a society where we have genderized things that are perceived as weak or not normal as feminine. So men don't even want to acknowledge or recognize that. So to have an issue means you're weak.
Yep.
Yeah. So I must be a girl, you know? So it's like they do these things. So I think that most men lump them together and call it life. Just dealing with the woes of life. You know, they never really call them what they are because there's not too many spaces for men to say, hold on, let me think about that for a minute. And I was like, because your dad, a little bit younger than my dad, but they're still of that generation where if a father didn't think that he was adequate to provide or he wasn't going to add nothing, men just left their kids, which is why the stereotype is there. They left the kid with the mom. They were like, the kid would be better off that way. My biological dad said the same thing. Like, well, you with your mom, so I knew you'd be fine. Like, what do you mean? But that was a cultural thing. And even now, like we had the guy that we had talked to offline who said he rather his child think negative of him than to know the truth about the mom.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
And he was like, no child's supposed to come between. He was like, nothing should come between a child and their mother. And I'm like, well, what about the father? But that's not a part of his reality. Never even conceptualized that. Men are conditioned to be lesser. Especially when it comes to the familiar structure. So, that kind of got me. Heavy, little heavy to me. Okay.
Right into it.
Ooh. Well, here we go.
You know what I'm saying? Why is having emotions
Why
taboo?
were we so deep back then?
Man, you know
Craig,
hey, was this us or the people that want us to talk about this stuff?
I don't know, but it's stressing me out.
And I can only speak from, even though I've traveled a bunch of different places, I can only speak from growing up for the most part, at least halfway here in America. And having emotions is taboo, especially, for men, I can only speak on that regards because it's conditioned that way. We can say the buzzwords like patriarchy and all that stuff, but no, it's literally, we're conditioned that way. And the crazy part is that there's quite a few brothers who know that's, especially now in the age of 2022, there's way too many brothers that know it's wrong and know it's damaging and perpetuate it anyways, because it's easier to keep going with that than to put your foot in the sand and say, nah, I'm going to stop it here with me.
I think about a lot of those seeds that were planted when you was growing up, you know, like some of those sayings like big boys don't cry, and, you better get up and walk that off, or you better not cry,
or crying like a B word.
Yeah, that too. So you were spot on. It's definitely conditioned, and it starts like young. Like as soon as you able to really just, I'm gonna say, start walking.
Yeah.
Rashia commented, but I can't see her. We can't see it up here. She commented. She said, "Hey, so hey, Rashia.
Hey, Booski.
Let me see. Let me go back to where we were.
Definitely don't see it.
Okay, you said being told that men are logical creatures and women are emotional creatures. Yep, that's one of them. And then these church folks want me to tell them stuff. Congrats on the beautiful completion of what sounds like you has been an amazing journey. Looking forward to whatever y'all do next. More love, more life. Oh, she gotta go.
Word. See you later, Jessica. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I think that emotions are taboo, period, because people act like you can't be in tune with your emotions and be logical.
Right.
Kind of to that point, like I can be hurt but still make a logical decision.
Right.
I can have an array of emotions and still take a logical. I think we have allowed people to shape our reality about humanity who are very lateral in thinking. Like, and we're very fluid in nature. So I can have an array of emotions and I can be very logical and I can do things very rationally. But I also can be emotional and irrational. That's what makes humans humans. But I think to just blanket things with that is also why. And I think to Triumphant's point, women look at emotions now as a sign of weakness and they try not to be emotional. Men are conditioned to be logical, so they don't even give a pass to emotion.
Yeah,
that's true. When emotions are a great thing, that is your body's first response system. It signals that something is happening within you, and I do hope that we are spending more time with people and telling them, be emotional, be who you are, be all of those great things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
I mean, even the school system, there's a big push for emotional intelligence.
Exactly.
Social emotional learning. That's what they're calling it.
Yeah. And because now what has happened is we have numbed people to having a social consciousness.
Yeah. I mean, you can look at, even we're not a political organization, but you can just look at the landscape of things. And, you know, when things, especially for things that don't concern certain groups of people, they're very void of emotion when it comes to things that affect other people. And what you're saying earlier, Jay, about things that are compressed too long, people can say what they want about be logical, don't be emotional. But we can see in people, men and women, for those people who try to suppress their emotions for too long, those things bubble over in a variety of ways. It may be a short-lived outburst, but those things do happen. So when you try not to be mad at anything, I don't get mad, I just take it. I don't get mad. No, that's going to boil over. I don't get sad or this or that. Like, those things find a way to come out because your emotions are not to be suppressed.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
And that's such a good point because when I go through stressful situations, I never look like what I'm dealing with, which is weird to me. I don't know why that is the case, but I do. And I be telling people like, I'm mad as hell. And like, no, you're not. But my body swells whenever I deal with stress. And so this year, I had 2 bouts of gout. And, you know, they look at your uric, well, for those who don't know, they look at your uric acid to determine how to treat your gout. Like, that's one of the things that causes it to be inflamed. But my uric acid is extremely low. And so we're saying, okay, well, it's hereditary. But then when the second one came, it was actually my whole health coach who was like, this might be related to, because she looked at my chart and she was like, it might be related to stress. And so now I have to be mindful of how I deal with stress and really listening to my body. So that way I can hurry up and de-stress in whatever moment that is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I get it, man. No, for real.
It's crazy how that stuff is just linked.
Yeah. No, man, stress, the real body killer, the mind killer, everything, man.
Your sister. I can cry, drag you, make moves in everyone's best interest simultaneously.
Yes, as we know you're amazing.
You're a superhero.
Yep.
And still make the garden grow.
You know, man, the Woosok Garden is one of the best places to be.
Whew. Here you go. Empowerment. You got it?
Yep. The process, empowerment. The process of becoming stronger and more confident, especially in controlling one's life and claiming one's rights.
Sounds like self-awareness to me.
Like emotional intelligence.
Oh man, this makes me think about just what we've been doing this whole time, man. Like, the reason we even called it Brother Empowerment, outside of Dion's challenge, but really just us wanting to create a space where brothers could come and not only be empowered, but just be a space where they can just be. They can be free so that they could become stronger and also just more confident. I know that that's what happened for me, you know, and so that's, I just think of like what we've been doing this whole time, man. And it's crazy because a good sister that I know, her name is Ashley Cobb. She was she had put a topic on her page, and it was about men in relationships and the standards of relationships now that women have, since in our modern time and all. Okay. And we can talk specifics, but I had put a comment on there, and a woman had said something about my comment and said, "Hey, well, so it's not enough for you to say what men are going through and what they need and this and that, but what are they going to do about it? What are you going to do to fix that?" And so that's something that's classic. And one of the other reasons out of many that I love this what we have, this brother empowerment space, this platform, is because when people ask that question of what are you going to do about it? Well, what do you have? How are you contributing? I plug us right in. So that's what I did. Hey, this is what we're doing. Come check us out. We have this space for men right here. And I think that, that's what empowerment, that's what it's all about, is just having a space for people to become stronger and confident, because it's not enough to say what the process is, but, having a place where people can go, a resource, is important.
I think for me, empowerment has become kind of like a challenge, and also kind of an irritant.
Okay.
Just because people have become so conditioned to it not being there that they don't see it. And also, it's also become this abusive thing of the people who are doing the work to prove what they're doing, like prove what you're doing. And I'm like, well, hell, what are you doing?
Right.
I don't have to prove anything. And the other thing is, it's like when we started this journey, like we lost a lot of friends. We lost a lot of associates because they look at empowerment as some type of gimmick,
right?
Some type of marketing endeavor, where they weren't committed to the service. They were committed to it being, some type of profit. And so it's like anything that deals with empowerment now, I kind of cringe, whether it's women empowerment, whether it was the brother empowerment. It's like all these empowerments and people are not empowered.
Yeah.
So like, it's like we're going to these disempowerment conferences, these disempowerment gatherings. And so for a while, I know for me, brother empowerment felt like the opposite, because as much as people were saying it was helping their life, we were met with 2 or 3 times as much challenges.
Yeah.
And it caused such a divide, because then people want to tell you how to empower.
Yeah.
Instead of joining forces and empowering in your lane and empowering from your realm of influence, it's like they wanted to create this one monolith type of empowerment. And like it devalued our empowerment. Like we had some brothers who started a show off of ours, don't even want to give you credit, but also want to make it seem like, because we talk about love, we're less masculine than they are. So it's a lot of that happening. So that's why I'm kind of like relieved to let it go. Like, y'all have it then.
Yeah.
Y'all do y'all own empowerment and don't ask us, don't write us, because we're going to be doing something. I'm going to be frolicking in phone booth.
No, that's no, you said it, bro. You said a word, man, because we did meet a lot of opposition at first and throughout. I would say the first 2 seasons, 2 years, whatever you want to call it, were met with heavy opposition, because like bro said, people thought that we were being soft. We were being basically what they were saying, feminine. They accused us of being feminine, but
would never say it to my face.
Yeah, and so then when we started rolling, and people and the train got rolling, all of a sudden people were, they were on board. It was great. And then of course, like bro said, also we had the folks who, once they saw the influence and saw the impact, especially really keep on the impact, they started to give suggestions. Well, what y'all need to do is, okay, it's like, okay, but outside suggestion, there was no other help or resource. It was just, you need to do this. That was their contribution to something that they kind of didn't believe in the first place.
Exactly.
So instead of, like bro said, operating in their influence, operating in their expertise to add value to the support, they just wanted to really just basically give lip service. It felt like they did something.
No, I think that people are very critical, but not collaborative in nature.
I love that, bro. That's exactly right. Very critical.
What's going on, Ricky?
What's
I've
up,
been listening, but now I can type in. Love y'all. Love you back.
I love you too, bro. But no, bro, that's in a very small amount of words, bro. That's a perfect summation. People are way too critical and not collaborative enough. And one of the things I like to say about folks just in general is people talk a lot and do a lot less. And that's one thing I don't like about people is they'll talk till the cows come home and say whatever and this and that. And it sounds great. When it comes time to do or to put action behind the words or do what your mouth says.
It disappear, right?
Like Houdini, man. Thin air, like Batman. You turn around and gone.
And all I'm trying to do is just let my side hair grow so I don't have to get no haircut no more. And I'm fighting it because I want to go get a haircut so bad, but I'm trying. But yeah, it's really that. Tara said, where y'all taking me back down hater lane? We good over this way. We good over this way. This is positivity in the making. Having brothers to break through. Hey.
Yep.
Hey. But it didn't really, and what I'm grateful for too, it helped me understand the greater issue.
Mm-hmm.
And it also helped me understand where we were needed.
Mm-hmm.
When we created this platform, Thursdays were like open.
Yep.
There were nobody doing anything on Thursdays. And then people started doing the Thursdays. They started doing all around it, which is great. So it's like, whether someone gives us credit or not, we know we influenced that.
Mm-hmm.
And we realize that there is a need for that.
Yep.
And there's not a need for another podcast. So we can go do something else that is really making that. So I'm grateful for the hiccups and the road bumps.
Yeah.
And I'm also grateful to give it to people because I'm not above anything. Like, if you want it, you can have it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that empowerment has become so gimmicky that people have scrutinized it so much that it has weakened its impact.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe there's a new way of how empowerment looks, feels. And as we go on our next journey, we'll figure that out.
I'm curious of what they feel like empowerment even looks like to them.
I don't know. I don't know if people want TD Jakes getting ready. I don't know what they want. That man, what was the man that used to run? He died though. Was it Dick Cheney? He used to do the I don't know what people want. Yeah. But I have noticed the ones who scream the loudest about what we need to do are not really doing it, or if they have an opportunity to do it, they shy away from that responsibility. So I'm not really sure what they want.
I'm sure they're not either. They're not either.
And it's kind of weird because I was thinking about this with the Beyonce thing that came up. Like how everybody was like, this album is trash and she shouldn't do this and she shouldn't do that. But nobody is really examining the microaggressions surrounding successful Blacks.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it when any Black is successful, we find a reason to devalue their worth?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we just celebrate who they are and what they do? Like, if you think about it, all of the prominent Blacks, no matter where they were successful in their field or successful financially, we find a way to devalue them. But we still praise our non-Black counterparts. Yeah. Bill Gates still get praise. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, he did his work, so I feel like he should get his praise. But on the counter, if it's a Beyonce, if it's an Oprah Winfrey, if it's a Whoopi Goldberg, if it's a Jay-Z, if it's a Kanye, we will find something to devalue them as if it lessens their worth. So I really wish people will empower themselves to deconstruct the negative constructs that they have gravitated to and actually espouse. Mm-hmm. I really feel like they should really move into another direction and examine that so when they see empowerment, they can embrace it versus having an adverse effect to it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree wholeheartedly, bro.
Can't touch that one.
Yeah, because it's yeah, man. It's just
What's going on?
What's up, Alex, man?
What's going on, Scholar?
Yeah, we got a lot of we got quite a bit of what, man? It's over. What's going on? What happened? It's like, and some of the folks where people was like, man, I don't know if you I don't know if you've ever watched, commented, shared, nothing,
donated,
nothing. Like
wow.
what, and I was telling Jay, we were having a conversation today, and I said, man, I think sometimes we got treated like the friend who is going to be there, so you kind of forget to acknowledge them, or forget to really even politic with them. It's like, oh yeah, they stuff is on Thursday, but now we saying we gone. It's like, oh wait a minute, what happened now? What? Wait a minute, like where was all that energy before? So yeah. So like Jay said, yeah, shoot, man, let something else let go of this so something else can grow and take place.
Yep, because every time you let go of the fertilizer, you let flowers grow.
Yeah.
She said no one can drag black people more than black people cheering black everything black.
That's right, sis.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
I'm not stepping on toes. You are. Okay. Ooh.
The impact of colorism.
That's the very first show we had Kerwin on.
I remember.
I think colorism is still a problem. I think people don't want to deal with the root of colorism. I hate when people overly exaggerate one person's skin tone over another, like that makes them more beautiful. I hate everything around it, and I wish that people would spend time examining how they look at things, even down to these racist lights, racist cameras that we have. Look how black I am.
I'm trying to
But I'm saying, it's the camera. The camera was built in a way to go to the lightest part. So even if we got that brightest light, which it looked like that one going dim in the middle part, but the brightest light on, it still focuses on this dude, you secondary, and my little chocolate self, like over here just... Look at my teeth, they white though. Yeah, but people don't realize that. So when you talk about colorism and racism, it's bigger than what people realize, and it affects so many different things to where people who are lighter hue, especially lighter hue black, they think they darker than what they are, and people who are darker think they lighter than they are or want to be light. It's just too much, but it exists, y'all, and I wish we'd stop it.
I'm going to echo everything. The only two things I'll have to add are, one, I hope Cordell takes 10 minutes to do his positive brother shout out tonight. I won't even say nothing. That's okay to beard, because I'll do it and won't even think twice about it.
You won't even know you're talking that long. That's why. You're like, that was just 2 minutes, right?
Richard said, I'm going silent. Can I stand colorism? Yeah, the only two things I have to add are, I echo everything bro said. And the one thing I'll say is that it's crazy how we can be given, especially black folks, we can be given examples of how racism, which is the brainchild colorism, which is the brainchild of racism. We can be given all the different examples of how deeply colorism permeates our very society and has over centuries, especially when it comes to the stuff like even marketing and media and writing and even science and archaeology and all that stuff. We can be given all those examples and people still deny it or try to act like it's not that serious. And the other thing is, I am so glad that it may not be gone, but I don't see a lot of it, that the whole team light skin versus team dark skin thing is kind of going the way of the dinosaur, because that is probably one of the most infuriating internet trends that I've ever seen in my life. And I've never
know you fit.
Huh?
You know what? I'm sorry.
It's over. I'm knocking all this over. But no. And I can't. You know what? I can't even say nothing because I literally opened the door for him.
You did. And I was like, oh shit.
And typical Jay Fast, he was like, I'm not gonna tiptoe away to close his door.
Well, since we're here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was funny though.
Yeah.
You
Don't say another word, bro.
I can't stand it. Team light skin, team dark skin. Where do I go? Team middle.
But yeah, so that was my second thing. I'm just glad that I don't see that as much of that anymore, and I hope that it doesn't make a comeback ever. But yeah, but bro, I agree with everything you said, man. For real.
Okay, let me see. Look, I done laughed so hard, we done scrolled too far. Okay, you said it's a tool to divide, and it's always has been.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he gets it from the vaccine or not crowd. I don't know what we're talking about. Colorism is just a way to further divide us in order to weaken us.
Yeah, I agree.
That chocolate skin hit different. Right. Dark skin be like light skin, be like whitey. People be like, don't they know they all black? Exactly.
Yep.
Facts, Ricky. Okay.
I'm not even gonna read.
I told Cordell he khaki.
Whatever, man.
Yeah, I think that speaking about empowerment, if we spend more time just embracing and appreciating the color spectrum of humanity, that's different. Like, I'm not, because what I like about people is everything that you got made you who you are and make you look a certain way. You see what I'm saying? Like, me and Cordell can put on the same things, and I probably won't look as great as Cordell would in these Hoochie Daddy shorts. I just won't do it. He got thigh meat out. I can't show thigh meat out because other meat gonna show with the thigh meat. You know, but your stature, your frame, how you look makes your image what it is. And if we spend more time congratulating people on those differences that make them extraordinary, colorism wouldn't be a problem.
I agree, man.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, we can literally joke about you being in between because I esteem you so much, but I mean, I do. I esteem everybody that's around me. So we can have those jokes, just like there are certain things that just look good on me because I'm fat. And people like, don't call yourself fat. No, I worked for this fat. Dealt with this fat for 4 decades.
Yo, Jay would literally be like, "Yo, you're not fat." Jay be like, "What? I'm fat.
I'm fat.
Well, it ain't no problem. I'm still good looking. I never said I was ugly."
Right. I'm morbidly obese. That's what my records say. But yeah, I think that if we spend more time embracing people and what they have and what they bring to the table, you wouldn't have to keep teaching people about it. Like, don't say that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so tired of the this or that complex.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, if she's beautiful because she's this, she can't be beautiful. We all can be beautiful. We all can be beautiful. Yes, I agree.
Yo, yeah, and he gonna leave it right there. He gonna leave it right there.
I was about to go somewhere, but I'm not gonna go to that. About to be disempowerment. But yes, we all can be beautiful. We all can do some things, and there can be some great qualities to us all. But I feel like we're missing the point when we come in with that comparison complex. That's all.
Yeah. My issue with colorism always been people act like you can just choose your skin tone. Like in the baby being born process, it's like you just picked it out.
Yeah.
Like, you can't choose it.
Yeah.
You don't have that choice.
Some people do.
Oh, do they?
Some people do.
Oh, well.
They bleach their skin.
Well, yeah.
Some people go to the little orange bar.
Yeah. Spray tan.
Some people live on the beach for that. Like, they don't want you to know what they really are until you see their feet, and you be like,
how that work?
Casper. But some people do, but I think that also is a result of people not esteeming what they have. Like, I'm not against, like, first of all, I'm not against beauty enhancements of any nature. I think that's a person's personal opinion. I do think that some of it comes from insecurities, but I do think that some of it comes from they just want certain things. It's not an insecurity. I mean, like, there are some people who, like, I don't think that I'm ugly, but I want my nose to look like this. Not that I hate this nose. I just can afford it, pay for it, and I want that. It's kind of like a car. Some people are like, yes, I could drive a Honda, but I want a Mercedes, and I'm going to get my Mercedes.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we project a lot of time our insecurities on a person. And there are several reasons why people make decisions. People are fluid, and we have different reasons why we make different decisions. And I think we need to appreciate that in the diversity spectrum as well.
Yeah.
Oh, he said he was talking about Bill Gates. Got it. If our eyes were thermal vision, it wouldn't be a problem. Same heat, same rays.
Mike told everybody had the predator vision. We just always see his thermal signature, heat signature.
They'll be like, your blob is a whole lot bigger.
Oh yeah.
Why you got all that purple in your blue? Why you got your orange?
You know, the sad part is that people would be actually just like that. It's like
you see that orange over there?
Yeah.
What's that mass of orange?
Yeah, man. And
you got more green than me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I wanted to hit on it earlier.
I'm more thermally.
My thermal is more defined. My heat signature is more defined than yours. It's more centralized. Thank you.
Look how the rays hit my thermalness. What thermalation you got on? He's thermal deficient.
But I wanted to say earlier too, man, because I wanted to bring the point up, and you actually made it. The whole this or that.
Yeah.
You know,
you can get with this.
Yeah,
you can get with that.
You can get with this.
Black sheep.
You can get with this. Oh, you can get. I'm sorry. You can get with this because this is where it's at. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The this or that.
Correct.
the this or that culture is really damaging itself because people, some people just refuse to act like multiple things can't be true, and it's way more of an and or culture versus a this or that. You know, and I think that's one of the things that is leads to breakdown in communications. People just act like it has to be this or it has to be that. There can be no or, there can be no and. It's just this, that. That's it. Yeah. And it just, there's no reason for that. But people just act like, hey, look, that's the way it is, and that's the way I think, and I don't care about it, how things actually are.
And you know what? They pass it on to your children too. He's my thermal deficiency. Look. Thermal deficient. I'm trying to tell you. People are like, what's wrong with you? I'm just thermal deficient. But we pass it on to our children in different ways. Like we'll be like, oh, he just like his mom.
Mm-hmm.
Or he just like his daddy.
Yeah.
He a product of both of y'all. It's ways
that
child act like both of y'all, and they don't. And sometimes they make a child decide like you're gonna be daddy's girl, or you're gonna be mommy's pearl, or you're gonna be a daddy's boy, or you're gonna be a daddy's girl. And it's like, no, stop doing that, because it's like, why can't a child equally care and equally have a connection with their parents, but you have different connections?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We pass so many of these divisive type mindset on, and then we wonder why there's always division.
Yep.
Labels too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why I cut off everybody. Everybody can get a cutoff.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter who you are, family, friend, associate, stranger on the street. Anybody can get cut off, and anybody can equally be my family. That's why you will never know who I'm blood related to versus not.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the love that keeps us connected. And when that love is not there, there's no reason. Kind of like what we were talking about today, and I made it a post too.
Yep.
You got to check to make sure, do people just have access to you, or are they connected to you?
Yep.
Because some people will sit there and say that they ride for you, they there, but really they just have access to you. But when they're connected to you, they move with you.
Okay.
People who have access, they just want to keep eyes on you. They just want to know what you're doing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They're tethering your source. Like they'll always say, like, yeah, me and Ian go way back, but they ain't helped Ian once with Teens Have a Voice too.
Yep. Ain't showing up, don't nothing.
But Ian, cool. He been my boy for 6 years.
Yeah.
And for 6 years, you have not even donated anything. Mm-hmm. Not even that car ride I gave you. Ain't even get no gas. And I know several people that are like that. And so in this season, I do want to challenge you to check your tethering sources. Who are you tethered to? Who did you give your Wi-Fi code to that you need to change it? And who are truly connected to you?
Yeah, no, that's big. When Jay put that out there today, it was because I had to look at the difference between the two, the connection versus the access. We had like you said, we had a conversation about that, and you know, there's a big difference, man. There's some people who I've experienced that too. People just want to know what you're doing and will be offended if you didn't tell them what kind of moves you're making. Yeah. Man, I didn't know about that. You ain't tell me. If I don't call you, if I don't call or text you or communicate, we won't talk for 6 months. But I'm supposed to tell you what I got going on? Yeah. No, if you really are tapped in or connected like that, you would know something because we would be politicking like that.
Yeah. Right.
You know?
It's almost like my mom said, like, cause you know she's getting older, and we gotta prepare for like when she transitions. And I'm like, Mom, I'm not calling anybody when you transition. She's like, well, why? I said, Mom, if you transition, I know. People who are connected to you will know when something happened. They'll call and be like, hey, I ain't got your mama. But people who are not connected to you, why I have to spend my time letting people know who ain't really connected to you know what's going on and want to know the whole story? No. Why do I have to tell people what we're doing with Love is a Parable if you've never done anything with Love is a Parable? There's several people out there that give unsolicited advice, and I'd be like, okay.
Yeah. Unsolicited advice, but never unsolicited support.
Right. Not one.
The truth is petty.
There's not one.
They rather tell you what they need to do, or tell you what you need to do.
Look at cousin.
What's up, Slap man?
What's up, cousin? I'm gonna say Mackenzie. Hey, Mr. Mackenzie. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, people would definitely rather, you know, tell you what you need / what they think you should do versus saying what they need to do to help.
Right.
They would rather just say it's easy for them to say, nah, man, I think you should do this, so you need to do that, versus, you know what? Let me do this to help you.
Yeah. Yeah. Interject your support.
Exactly. Less opinions, more support.
Yep. What's going on? We love you back. Positive brother shout out, and that joker say Jay Dwayne up on that screen. I don't know why I say that, but it's okay. Positive brother shout out. Positive brother shout out.
You at that time already.
Man, I took it off. What can a brother do for me?
See, positive brother shout out. Oh man, there's a lot, man.
Especially when you're the historic one who was the first person ever to shout themselves out.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, I was gonna get to that. Because I got some big moves popping on. But yeah, I've met a lot of good brothers like within the last 3 weeks. I don't want to mention their names because I might forget somebody because I just met them recently. But let me start out with how I always do. Got to shout out myself because Mr. Ian Parks is doing some positive things in the community. People,
no, for real,
just keep your ears glued to the streets, and y'all definitely gonna find out some more big things that I'm doing. Also, these brothers right here, Kerr and Ricky. Man, my boy
Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, Ronnie, too.
My boy Daryl Glover, who's an eye doctor, doing this thing. He's doing some real positive stuff, especially for people of color. Got another brother, Craig Simon, doing some big things. Man, I'm forgetting some people. My boy Chris Brown doing some big things.
The dancer?
No.
I was gonna say
he's a singer too. What about the dancer?
Yeah. Well, yeah. See, but yeah.
Hey, CG did get excited. We ain't gonna talk about that.
He was about to do a move. You know, he made fire come from a stage.
No, you made fire come from the video.
We got proof.
I'm trying to think. And my OGs, they know who they are. I ain't gonna say their name, but yeah, definitely shout out to my OGs doing some big things as well too. And
guess I kick it to one of y'all brothers.
He passed the mic.
Man, nah, definitely want to shout out Jay, man, just because when we were going through the videos earlier before we started the show, man, it has been such a journey. See, look at his loss right now. So it has been such a journey, and I've loved every minute of it, man. And I didn't know, like you said, I didn't know what was going to happen when we started, but I knew I wanted to do something to do my part to help. And here we are. So
you actually had that look on your face too when you were sitting on that iron board.
Like, come on, man.
He's like, what the hell is this? This old ratchet stuff.
But no, I definitely want to shout you out, man, for being the supernova that you are, and man, just being a lot of inspiration to me and other people, and just a lot of inspiration behind Brother Empowerment itself as well, man. I definitely want to shout out Ian and Kerwin, Ricky, Deuce, Deshaun, Ragnarok, aka Devontae. You know, y'all brothers helped me hold it down. You know what I'm saying? While Jay was showing his talents to the world, doing, finding patients, music.
And I regret nothing.
Y'all helped me hold it down. And so big shout out to y'all. But I also want to shout out just all the brothers who really just showed us continuous and consistent support. Like Rick Owen, Bruce, our resident fact checker. Like, there's so many brothers and even brothers.
I don't know any of them people. I'm joking.
Chad, Sean, all these different brothers who really just, they were always like, hey, if I can't do anything else, I'm gonna tune in, and behind the scenes, we're gonna talk. And if you need something I can provide, man, I got you. So shout out to all of y'all, man, because really this journey wouldn't have been the journey that it is without you guys. And man, I just love y'all, man. Like, all of y'all. It's only up from here. And this couldn't have been a more fitting send off, man.
That's a bar, CG. It's only up from here.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you're little.
Yo,
these won't happen anymore. I gotta get them in this time. This is the last time. Oh, and for people who are wondering, we're gonna be friends. It's not like, they ain't friends no more. They're about to stop.
No, they act like
they done broke up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
They broke up the group.
You know what I'm saying? We like the family broke up, or who's the Mero or whoever. We just, or the Breakfast Club, because they're not a thing anymore either, apparently. But yeah, we just Jay, I'm out.
Nobody come to see you, Otis.
I'm out of here.
But yeah, this really give us a chance, and for those who truly have been supporting, this is an opportunity for you to engage. I'm gonna be in the classroom more with doing more trainings. We got one going on right now with an amazing cohort. So if you haven't had a chance to join any of those classes, do that. If you haven't had a chance, like you've been meaning to donate, do that. You can become a subscription donor, which will be great, where you can donate a little bit each month. You can do as low as like $1, $5. It doesn't matter. Just sometimes to show that you support what we're doing. And if you want to be engaged in certain ways, we can come up with a whole bunch of ways that you can help Love is a Parable thrive. We're doing trainings, workshops, all of those things. And if you know of things that we don't know about, let us know. But this is definitely an opportunity for us to do bigger and better things. And I'm just excited because all of us are in transitions right now. And it's a beautiful thing to be in transitions. And I'm going to miss seeing you on Thursdays, bro.
Yeah, man. It's going to be, man, for 4 years now, almost 5, outside of the breaks that we started instituting last season, every Thursday was like, all right, well, I'm going to work. I'm going to make sure I get something to eat. And I'm going to the Brother Empowerment headquarters.
Yep. Back up, move to Beverly. Yeah. I mean, that's how it has been for so long, and it was an expectation, but I think interruptions are good because one of the things we always said, we move with a flow. Whenever we feel like there's a blockage, we listen to those things, and we're listening to it. I was scared about making a decision a little bit, but I'm glad that we have, and I'm glad that we've done. Deshaun said he loves us. Thanks for having me on the show. We love you too, brother.
Sean, bro.
Brother Empowerment helped me in major ways, and you helped us. You're such an amazing gift and talent.
Triumphant. I think the last.
He said he lied, by the way.
Oh yeah. I mean, I wasn't actually. Yeah, he did. Because he's petty like that. But I was actually gonna do 10 minutes. Like, I think I've said everything that I've needed to say throughout the course
10 minutes. 10 minutes. Oh,
yeah, I've said everything I need to say throughout the course of these 4 seasons. So I didn't feel like I needed to make it long.
On behalf of all the sisters, we were empowered as well. Congratulations.
Thanks, Tara. I love that.
Thank you. So, guys, I'm just excited about what's next, and I'm also sleepy because I'm old. So I'm going to get off of this thing, and we're going to bid you guys adieu.
Yeah.
And like we always close, if you feel that no one in this world loves you, we don't either. I'm joking. You just met.
That was to the haters.
No, all jokes aside, if you feel that nobody in this world care about you and love you, you just met 3 people that do. I hope that you continue to stay connected, find out more about everything that we are at loveisaparable.com. But we're out for the last time. Yeah.
A brother is someone that you can trust. A brother can sometimes be just a warming embrace. Someone that you can depend on. And someone that has loyalty and that you show